officially welcome us and open the proceedings of this 2019 Ministerial Conference under the theme, Advancing Inclusive and Sustainable Economies. It gives me great pleasure to call to the podium the Director General of the Department of Environmental Affairs, Madame Nosipho Ngcaba. Madame, it's over to you.
Distinguished ministers, vice ministers, excellencies, ambassadors, high commissioners, heads of UN agencies, leaders from business, civil society, and labor, senior officials of PAGE member states, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you to South Africa and to Cape Town International Convention Center on this important occasion of the opening of this PAGE conference, being the third conference that has been held over the few number of years. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for South African government, led by Minister Mgonyane, to be hosting this conference here in Cape Town.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment we prepare ourselves to receive the keynote address from Her Excellency Minister Nomvula Mokonyane.
Honorable ministers present here, representatives from various UN agencies and organizations, fellow panel members, esteemed delegates. I've seen one of our sisters from here in Cape Town, who's also a diplomat of the South African government. I wish to also take this opportunity to recognize members of the media and indeed say through you, Program Director, it was quite befitting that before we could say anything and stand on this podium, we reflect a bit on the life of Minister Edna Molewa. She unfortunately has got shoes that are much, much bigger than my own foot. And yes, I do wear high heels compared to her. She has been a giant in the area of environment in the Republic of South Africa and also in the world. It is unfortunate that death never prepares us. Death never prepares us, because had it prepared, many of us would have even negotiated with her to negotiate with God that she must wait until she comes and hosts this conference, at least, so that then she realizes her own passion and what she would have loved to see happening here in the Republic of South Africa. I do remember how she was motivating for Cabinet to approve the hosting of this particular conference, because these decisions just do not happen through a minister, but they also seek a cabinet decision. And you do need to appreciate, therefore, that we are gathered here today because of that gentle giant's influence, as well as capability to take everybody along, sometimes softly, sometimes gently, but she could also be harsh to make you go with her own views. She will, and she continues to be greatly missed. Personally, let me say, Program Director, distinguished guests, that I'm also delighted to welcome all of you, especially the participants who are coming from outside of the Republic of South Africa. We're meeting here in the city of Cape Town, the home of the South African Parliament, to deliberate on the transition to a low-carbon and climate-resilient development pathway, which has the ability to contribute to job creation, poverty alleviation, and greater equality in our societies. As South Africa celebrates 25 years of democracy, it is also fitting to reflect on progress made on sustainable objectives. As we reflect, we also look ahead to what can be done to make the world we live in a better place, be a better place for all of us and generations to come. Today we mark the start of the third Partnership for Action on Green Economy Ministerial Conference since its launch in 2013. This platform supports countries and regions to put sustainability at the heart of economics, policies and practices so as to advance the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Over these 2 days, our focus should be about advancing inclusivity and sustainability economies. This is an important conference given that it follows the conclusion of the international climate change talks in Poland, where the Paris Agreement work program was adopted, setting out the rules of implementation. The Natural Capital Dialogue at this conference should contribute to the formulation of the post-2020 agenda for nature. May God bless all of you. Please enjoy South Africa. Please enjoy our country. But most importantly, let us shape the future, because yesterday was about us. Tomorrow it is about the young people that are waiting for the outcomes of this conference. Thank you very much.
And maybe a good place to start, Minister, is to just start with a question to you, which is really to ask you to share with us how this country, how South Africa, is positioned to address the 2030 agenda for sustainable development, and in particular, what is South Africa doing deliberately to move towards the sustainable development goals?
Thank you very much. As I had earlier said, one of the enablers for us in realizing the SDGs as a country is the fact that we were far ahead, even before the adoption of the SDGs, with our own national development plan, our Vision 2030, which then encapsulate all issues that have to do with inclusive growth, sustainable development, promotion of equality, and so on. We are now in the period of implementation.
Yeah.
We're left with a few years, and hence you can see on the investment as it was presented here through our resident representative of the from the ILO on what South Africa has been able to do in the green economy, looking at the transport sector, looking at the agricultural sector, and of importance, investing on research.
Right.
Because any way forward that is not informed by scientific evidence and information, including knowledge, is bound to cause a lot of challenges. And therefore, investing on research and embracing creativity and innovation has been some of the success factors that South Africa has been able to realize. And of importance also is about locating environment as an enabler for economic development.
Right.
An enabler, and that's why even in any work that has to do with economic investment opportunities, the environmental sector also becomes important. It has not been seen as a hindrance or a nuisance,
Yeah.
looking at where we come from, but it has been seen as an opportunity looking at responding to the realities of climate change, but also taking advantage with the challenges and making them turn into opportunities. We now have a program that we call the Oceans Economy in our country, which is a program that for the first time has actually shown the vast opportunities for participation of young people, diversification of our economy as a country, and maximum utilization of our coastline for the betterment and prosperity of our country.
And of course, Minister.